Some shows talk about one team. Other shows barely talk sports. This show will talk Packers, Brewers, and Bucks every day. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily with Steve Sparky Fifer, served up by Wendy's on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan. Download the Wendy's app today.
It is that time again as we broadcast live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. See Sparky Fifer with you. Charlie Usen, other side of the glass, producing today's show. We'll get more into the Brewers and Cubs 3-game set coming up later tonight. 5 o'clock, 90-minute pregame show with the leadoff show leading up to Brewers and Cubs with Tommy Wirtz, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook from 5 to 6:30 tonight and tomorrow night. Here from Pat Murphy. Get your starting lineups. Whole deal comes up tonight and tomorrow night leading up to both of those games. The Miz on the mound tonight for the Milwaukee Brewers. Get ready. There'll be a lot of Cub fans there. Just warning you, get ready for that. But before we get more into the Brewers coming up here in about 15, 20 minutes, let's get more on what happened today at training camp.
It's time for your green and gold update on Wisconsin Sports Daily, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan with Steve Sparky Fifer.
Joining us now, Mike Clemens, NFL Radio on Sirius XM. Follow him on Twitter at Mike Clemens NFL. Michael, thank you for coming on. How was practice today?
Steve, are you telling me that right now the trainer of the Baltimore Ravens is draining Jair Alexander's knee?
Yeah, apparently that's the story. Yes.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Oh, my God.
But again, I mean, some guys just can't stay healthy. And I can give you numerous examples of Brewer players currently that can't stay healthy. And it appears Jair Alexander is stuck with this going forward.
You know, that's one thing if you're a 300-pound lineman in the NFL, but not Jair Alexander. Oh, God, what a mess.
What a complete mess. Now, speaking of a mess, how about this? You've covered the NFL for a long time. Have you ever heard of somebody getting cut from giving somebody a kiss on the top of the head? Because that's a new one on me with Christian Wilkins getting let go by the Raiders.
No, but I heard you guys talking about this, earlier today, and, you go on Twitter, and now there's like a dozen different clips, like when he was with the Dolphins.
Yep.
And after a play, leaning over and kissing a player on the opposing team on the back of the neck, and the dude, like, swatting him away like a fly. Like, yeah, it's a bad habit. It's a bad habit. I have a feeling he's probably been smacked in the face a couple of times, and he doesn't seem to knock it off.
But don't you want him if you're the Packers? Him next to Kenny Clark? Doesn't that change the whole front line?
Listen, time and time again, Steve, these guys will not bring in a guy if it's not a good fit.
But you have Hobbs there to ask. Hobbs played with this dude last year. Just go talk to him.
Which is probably why they're not making a move for him.
Well, maybe.
If he's here, then I guess then he signs an agreement that he will not kiss his fellow Packers. I mean,
You never thought you'd say that in your career.
No. It's weird. I mean, look at some of those pictures, though. It's like, dude, stop.
Dude, I am just amazed by that. That is just something else that I never thought I would see. But speaking of Nate Hobbs, Mike Clemens, let's talk about Nate Hobbs, because Nate Hobbs seems to be a little too aggressive for Packer players, and today resulted in the first padded practice of Marshawn Lloyd limping off the field, the Packers' second-year running back.
Hey, I was watching Nate later on, and I think it was Heath that was lined up. But you know what? It's like, wow, Nate Hobbs lines right up on the line, and then he jams you. And as opposed to like a smaller guy like Valentine or even Jair, he's got this upper body. He can do it, like back in the day, Doug Evans or something.
Right.
Or even, a Rasul or Al Harris, who made a career out of that the second half of his career. That's how Al got another 8 or 9 years out of the league. So he's not that tall as Al, but both those hands are ready, and he will jack dudes. So he's very physical like that. And I also saw a time where a receiver, might have been a tight end or so, was coming across the middle, and today, first day in pads, he could have clobbered the guy coming across the middle, and it was just enough to show on the tape. I could have, decleated this guy, but I pulled up, at the last second. It was well done. Yeah. The big disappointment of the day is this. First day in pads, you just spent 4 days rehearsing to get ready for pads. You got LaFleur saying, I want you to be fast. I want you to be physical. Do not touch my quarterback. Do not put my running backs on the ground, okay? And then this morning, to reestablish that, he played the do's and don'ts from last year's camp, like bad plays. Like, no, this is not good. If you hit dudes like this and you put them on the ground, like this happened in last year's camp, you're going to be in serious trouble here. So it's a third play of the damn first practice in pads. And we've been talking about, Marshawn Lloyd with the hamstring and the ankle.
Speaking of guys that can't stay healthy. Yep. Just
as he's about to come back, appendicitis, Mm-hmm. So you feel sorry for him. But you keep on asking these guys off to the side, and they go, no, he's got this burst. He's got this speed. He's a short dude, hard target to get. And to offset a power back like Josh Jacobs, we're excited about this. So you get all the way through the OTs and all that. Today you put the pads on, third damn play from scrimmage. He gets the ball from Jordan, runs out to the left, off of Rasheed Walker's shoulder. There's two defenders there, and, they hit him. They gave him an NFL hit. And Steve, his knees buckled like an old-time heavyweight fight. Down goes Lloyd. Down, they just buckled. And he went down, and then he was on all fours, and he's kind of shaking his head. And, I'm gonna imagine he's gonna get listed with a concussion. That's just speculation. Won't know till tomorrow. But that was it. His day was over. Helmet off on the sidelines, done. Third play. And there's sometimes, like Pepper Burris used to say, there's some dudes whose bodies are just not built for this sport. He is, by the way, the smallest body out there, 90 people on the field.
How much did LaFleur go off on that?
They just moved on to the next play.
So he didn't yell and scream about, I just told you that, knock it off. None of that.
No, he does. I mean, there's plenty of yelling from this guy, but, click, game-like situation, get the next guy in there, Emmanuel Wilson, get in there, line up 31, okay, here we go, run it again.
Right. Exactly.
Click.
Yep, Mike Clemens, NFL Radio on Sirius XM. Follow him on Twitter at Mike Clemens NFL. Joins us here on Wisconsin Sports Daily. Served up by Wendy's here on the Fancy Sparky Fifer with you. We played a little bit of Matt LaFleur's presser earlier today, and I said nothing against any of y'all covering this team because y'all got tough jobs to do. But from a fan perspective, I don't think anybody gets nervous about Jordan Love throwing an interception at this point. I think in Chicago, they get really nervous about Caleb Williams because he still hasn't established himself. But at least from my perspective, he threw a pick, whatever. Hopper caught. It was a bad decision. We move on. He's going to throw more interceptions. I mean, Rodgers is throwing interceptions in the Pittsburgh camp the same way.
I thought about asking about. Yesterday was a weird practice on Sunday. First of all, it's been so dang hot. But whatever the case, they kept on running short plays, and then you remind yourself, this is installation, right? And this is your last day in pads. But when you're running 40 or 50 plays out there, and there's this one where I think it was Musgrave was over the middle, and he's in triple coverage. And then so Jordan, rather than throw the ball away or run to the sidelines, it's just like, hey, man, it's practice. I'm taking a shot.
Sure.
Let's see if I can pull a bunny out of the hat. Drills it in over the middle in triple coverage. Ball bounces around. Tyron Hopper is there, picks it off. He gets the pick, and it ends up sort of being, the play of the day. 20 years ago, I was out here when it was 105 degrees, and we were about 2 weeks into camp, and Favre had thrown 5 interceptions in that practice. But it was ridiculously hot and humid to the point where, they were throwing us Gatorade and stuff. Well, we all loved Bob McGinn and respected him, but his next column was, is this the end of Favre?
Yep.
And, of course, Favre went on and went to 2 NFC championships with 2 different teams, after that. So it's like, hey, it is practice. Don't get too crazy about the interceptions. As for Jordan Love, he is hitting deep balls like I've never seen before. And yesterday, after he threw that pick over the middle, then it's like, okay, all right, you guys, get off my back. I'll be more careful of the ball. So there's another time, 20 minutes later, where he's back, looks left, right, goes through all the progressions. Everybody's covered. So he decides to throw it out of bounds. They've got, all those VIPs and, special guests they've got. There's hundreds of people, old people, little kids and all that. So he throws this ball just throw it away. He sails it over the sideline's head. It hits the wall of the Hudson Center. I'd never seen this before, but it hit so hard, I think he ruined the ball.
What?
Because I saw the ball drop, and it was all scratched up because it hit the cement wall. And I thought, we've never gone around and asked the receivers. The only one who would be left would be Dobbs. Who throws a fastball, Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love? But I'm telling you, that had some sizzle to it. So that's something that I'll be watching. In terms of some of the decisions, some of the balls, it's not like Rodgers where the ball would not touch the ground for 4 days.
Right.
It's just not. And where the quarterback is yelling at receivers. And to me, Steve, I think the biggest thing right now for this entire team, we could talk about all the different positions and all. The most important thing, I came into this camp with saying, you got a great running back in Josh Jacobs. You got to score more points. You got a halfway decent defense, and you got a kicker. And you have to. You've been taking away the excuses now. You can't blame it on Joe Barry.
Right.
Can't blame it on first-year defense with Jeff Hafley. Can't blame it on Anders Carlson. Right. So you've taken away the excuses, and what's left? Because you got this running game now with Josh Jacobs, and it's the passing game. And so therefore, Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs, Dontavian Wicks, those three dudes have to generate a passing game like the one you had when you beat the Cowboys in the playoffs, and you haven't seen it since. And how do you get to that next level? And these guys, they've peaked as athletes. So the next thing is that they have to figure out how to get open in the NFL consistently. And, to always work on their technique in terms of catching the football. And Wicks, though, there'll be times where he runs it down and out. He's covered. All right, whatever. You run these things, and pretty soon the defense knows what play is coming. But then you got Love throwing the ball on the ground, and you got Wicks flailing like, some frog you throw across a pond. And it's like, man, that looked bad. What are you doing there? Again, it's practice, and it's only the first week of practice. But I talked to all those guys, and, Wicks, I'm not sure of his confidence. Dobbs, between the two concussions and then, going AWOL the week of the Rams game, his hometown, he's at a next level in terms. He's the most confident I've seen him in 4 years. Speaking faster, quicker, to the point. He's got, what he's going to say, et cetera. And Jaden Reed, who I think is a really smart kid, I said, so give me one thing you did this off season that's going to make you better this year. He said, I bought a jugs machine.
Smart.
I bought a jugs machine. I mean, that's the only thing I could think of. Just, at night, at home, catch balls. Those are the kinds of answers I'm looking for. One other thing while I'm talking about this area, though, is as I'm looking at that field today, I'm thinking, who have they got at tight end after Tucker Kraft?
Well, it better be Musgrave, better be the answer.
No. I don't know what's going on with Luke Musgrave, man. You know what? I saw him today come off the line, and the play pretty much was going to go to the right side. He's coming off on the left side, just outside the left tackle, and some guy just clobbers him with the helmet and squares up with shoulder pads. Number 26. I thought, who's that? Wait, that's not Hobbs. It's Micah Robinson, the 7th-round pick out of Tulane. I mean, Musgrave is 6'6", 253 pounds. This is 5'11" corner that essentially blocked him out.
Wow.
Like, what is good? So I don't see Musgrave making redeeming catches yet in this training camp. And somebody, so I brought this up on the sidelines to some of the guys, and they say, well, who backs up Travis Kelce? Well, I think isn't that Nolan Gray and Bobby Tunyon's down there now trying to earn a job. Who backs up George Kittle? Okay, point.
Fair point.
To me,
right. But you have to use Tucker Kraft that way for that to be a point.
Jordan Love needs 2 tight ends, and right now he only got one.
You did not bring up, in talking about wide receivers, Mike Clemens, you did not bring up Matthew Golden, the first-round pick that I think everybody will have eyes on here in preseason and going into the season, because you draft somebody in the first round for the first time in God knows how long. I think expectations are going to be that he's going to be an impact player in this Packers offense in year one. Should those be expectations from what you've seen so far?
It's because I've been sticking with the main course, the meal. That dude's the dessert.
Oh.
He's a beautiful thing.
All right.
He's a beautiful thing. Steve, last week, Jordan hit him on a little slant pass, about 7 yards. Ball came, behind over the inside linebacker's shoulder. Matthew put up his hands, stops, turns, looks. He's got a corner, a nickel, and a safety on him. He made one cut, and he was gone. Gone. And you look at Jordan, and he's smiling, and it's like, hello, just get him the damn ball and let the kid take over. He's gone. So that, I'm concerned about them overusing him. Just get him the ball in a high percentage situation, and he'll take care of the rest. So, all that stuff about having him is, a deep threat, a decoy, kind of like Christian Watson. So you get that, more high percentage stuff, shortage over the yard or over the middle, blah, blah, blah. Guess what? You know who else is having a really good spring in camp, in my estimation, is number 6, McCurl Hardman, the 28-year-old, the former Chief and Jet. He's caught 4 or 5 deep balls, 50, 60 yards downfield. He looks good. He looks fine.
What about Savion Williams, the third-round pick?
One catch today. He got knocked up last week, knocked around, so he's out for a couple of days with apparently a mild concussion. So I'm going to make a nice play today, though, over the middle for about 15 yards. So, I need more reps with him. And then, I've always tried to come to you with, who's that kid, that undrafted kid that, might have a chance of making the team. And we're only a week into it. But, I told you about a guy named Tremont Williams, right?
You did?
I told you about, I know Jake Kumaro, and I know how much, Rodgers loves him.
Hey, man, I'll take credit for one. I was on Sam Shields. I'll take credit for Sam Shields.
Beautiful.
You got the rest of them.
Beautiful.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and that speed, and when they put that speedy rookie at corner opposite Tremont, Dom had 2 fast corners.
Yep.
And now he could put, Whitson back over the middle, and so he had 2 speedy corners for your number 1 and number 2 guys, and that he won a Super Bowl with that combination. I told you about a kid named Malik Taylor, because now they're using him on special teams returns. And so I think there's got to be a way that they find him on the roster. What do? They cut Kumaro, and they added that kid. So, and then 4 years ago, I tweeted out, I know it's the only second day of practice in pads, but I really like the footwork on this 4th-round kid playing tackle, and they just paid him. His name is Zach Tom. So today, I'm going to tell you this one. I've been talking about this last week just because of drills, what's going on. There's a kid named Sam Brown Jr. who's out of Miami.
Wide receiver.
Oh, man.
Yes, sir.
Just graceful. I don't know how he makes the team today, in the end of July with the depth that they have, but he's and then today he made a big catch, in which, like everybody else saw from the media and all that, and a ball that came from Jordan, and now everybody's tweeting it away. But he's wearing 17, and just great hands, great athlete so far. I still don't have anybody else jumping out yet on defense, but we'll get there as we get more into padded practices.
There he is, Mike Clemens. He's awesome. NFL Radio and Sirius XM. Follow him on Twitter at Mike Clemens NFL. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate you.
All right, Steve.
Take care. There he is, Mike Clemens, joining us on the Fan Gas Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Don't you love Clemens? You could just listen to Clemens talk all day and just be completely all into it as he tells stories and so forth, as he weaves his way through everybody that he saw.
Every time he comes on, it's just phenomenal. He knows how to break down all these dudes better than anybody else I know.
Yes, it's so good. Time for your fan weather forecast, brought to you by Utke Heating and Cooling. Right now, 92 degrees, a real feel of 95. Heat advisory in effect until 8 o'clock tonight. Good news for Charlie. The low now has changed yet again for the 3rd time in 3 hours. The low now is back down to the 60s, so 69 degrees now for the low, Charlie. hey, whatever. You got to take the small wins, the small victories. When you're dealing with this type of heat, right?
I guess.
Yeah. You're not very confident in it. Coming up next, we'll talk about the Brewers, the Cubs, 3-game set. Leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook gets underway tonight at 5 o'clock and tomorrow night, 90-minute shows with Tommy Wirth. Definitely want to stay tuned for that. We're going to talk about goals, expectations coming into this series. We'll talk about the pitching matchups, all that fun stuff straight ahead. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Perkins, center field, that'll get it done! Scored as a hit! In comes Haas, and the Brewers walk off the Marlins!
My goodness.
Blake Perkins delivers in the clutch!
It was funny when he came up to at bat, they intentionally walked Churio. I literally texted Tommy and said, see, this is where the Golden Bat rule makes a lot of sense right now. Because then you would be allowed to bring Churio back up Charlie. At that point, highlight courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network, you would have been allowed to bring Churio back up to bat. Now they're loaded. Now deal with it and see what you got. But there was no Golden Bat rule. So what do you think happens? That dude gets a hit, wins a game. Tommy hadn't texted me anything in response to my text and says, I would have picked Blake Perkins for my Golden Bat guy. Yeah.
Damn straight.
Damn straight. Yeah, of course you would have. You're both liars. Both liars.
Well, no, I wouldn't have picked him, but also I love that you get to see a Blake Perkins have the opportunity to have a moment like that. I get you want to see your best players up, and that's always going to get the most clicks on social media afterwards, but as a real fan of the team, you like to see a Blake Perkins get a game-winning hit. That's fun, man.
Hey, if you love Wendy's classic chocolate vanilla frosty flavors, there's some big news. They're all new Frosty Swirls and now Frosty Fusion. Same creamy treat you've always loved, now with a flavor refresh. So what are these new flavors? All right, well, we got the Frosty Swirls, which we all know and love. Strawberry, brownie batter, caramel. Always ask for extra swirl. It costs you nothing. It's worth it. Now they've got the Frosty Fusion. So now that's Oreo Brownie, Caramel Crunch, which is like pieces of toffee into the caramel swirl, and then Pop-Tart Strawberry as well. Now those all come with whatever base you want. You can have the chocolate Frosty base or the vanilla Frosty base with the swirls and the fusions. So clock in for sweet treat time with Wendy's all new Frosty flavors. A refresh on a classic. It's gotta be Wendy's. So Brewers and Cubs coming up tonight. And this is great because we got a 3-game set here. And Charlie Usen, being a guy that has been covering the Brewers all season long, every single game on this show, is completely locked into the Brewers. And he also is a Cubs fan because his father brainwashed him as a child. It happens. And so he knows both teams fairly well at this point. We had David Haw on earlier of the Mully and Haw Show on 670 The Score. You can go back and listen to that wherever you listen to your favorite podcast at Odyssey, iHeart, TuneIn, Apple, wherever you download your favorite podcast. Go back and listen to it, or check us out on YouTube where we're live streaming all of our local shows. Go right now. You can watch us on the stream at The Fan Milwaukee. Use the @ symbol at The Fan Milwaukee. Like, subscribe. And you'll be able to see all that. Plus, we do shorts we put up on YouTube as well. Again, we're a month into this thing. We're learning as we go. We'll continue to try and get better and make this even better for y'all who love being on YouTube. So definitely check us out at The Fan Milwaukee. But David Haw was on earlier. And David Haw, very optimistic dude, right? David Haw said, I asked him point blank, what about the bullpen? Oh, I love our bullpen, blah, blah, blah. And I looked over at Charlie's face, and Charlie's face did not tell me that he loves the bullpen like David Haw loves the bullpen. So I come to you because from my perspective as a Brewers fan, anytime the Brewers get into a bullpen, I feel like that's when this offense can get going. Yeah, you may get owned by Boyd tonight to start the game for the Brewers. It may be 0-0 through 5, Mizorowski versus Boyd. It could happen. But once he gets out, I feel like, okay, now we go. Now comes the bullpen, and now this Brewers offense will go once the starter gets out of the way, if they struggle with a starter game to game. Your thoughts on that Cubs bullpen?
I like you said, am not as confident in them as Hall was. When he was talking about it, he was saying, oh, they're all former starters that didn't really work out, and now they're finding their place in a bullpen. And that's exactly what I thought about it. There's a reason they're former starters, and a reason that they're sitting in this Cubs bullpen, because they really are not that consistent enough to be able to do this on a day in, day out basis. Right now, what we're seeing from this Cubs bullpen is, yes, you're seeing a lot of guys play above what your expectations are for them. But the problem is the moment you sign a Craig Counsell, that doesn't automatically make you the Milwaukee Brewers.
Right.
And that doesn't automatically mean that your bullpen is just going to be okay no matter what, like the Milwaukee Brewers. They have a great pitching part of that organization that is able to develop these guys into that spot and turn a Josh Hader, who was a starter, into a bullpen guy and make it work. The Cubs don't have that. What we've seen from the Cubs is that they've been able to develop their bats really well, and they've been able to get guys to find the most out of their bats. But the pitching, they've relied on the John Lesters and the Kyle Hendricks to win them World Series. And Jose Quintana for a couple of seasons, they relied on that. It's not the same. And when you're looking at this Cubs bullpen, I'm not as excited about that group as I was of the same veteran style players that they had when they won the World Series. Right now, I'm seeing a team that really thrives off of each other. And if the pitching is going good, the bats are going good. If the bats are going good, the pitching usually follows. If one of them isn't playing well at a certain point in that game, though, the other side follows as well. And that's why the Cubs, I just don't have that same kind of confidence in them as the Brewers.
This 3 matchups. Let's go down it and see what we think.
Sure.
The question is this, Brewers fans and Cub fans, if you're listening. What are expectations and goals for this Brewers versus Cubs series for you as a fan? Nicolay Law Fan Talk and text line 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. Sound out with a recorded voice message right there on the Odyssey app. It's real simple. You just record it on the app. You hit send. Comes to Charlie or Tommy on the other side of the glass. They can play it back. Facebook and Twitter at The Fan Milwaukee. Of course, the YouTube chat is there for you as well if you want to chat with us there. Charlie's good at reading some of those off as they come in. Use the @ symbol, The Fan Milwaukee on YouTube. Tonight, it's Mizorowski versus Boyd. Both of these guys, sub-3 ERAs coming into this deal. Boyd has been one of the biggest surprises in my mind of the big leagues this season as far as how well he has pitched. What say you on the matchup tonight?
I still take Miz. I love Boyd. He's been a lot of fun to watch this season. I liked him before he was on the Chicago Cubs, too, when he was with Detroit. He was a lot of fun there as well. I just feel like Miz is just unstoppable. Like, he is one of the best players I have ever seen play baseball, and that's through 6-7 starts. That's insane. I can't say that about many other athletes. Still take him.
Then we have Priester versus Colin Ray, the former Brewers pitcher. Colin Ray last time out against the Royals, 5 innings, 6 runs, 5 earned, gave up 3 home runs in that outing against the Royals, 8-4 loss. But prior to that, in the month of July, the other 3 outings, he only gave up 1 run in innings of 5, 7, and 6 2/3. So he had a clunker his last outing. I don't think he'll have a clunker again, but nobody knows him better than the Milwaukee Brewers coaching staff and some of these players who were teammates with Colin Ray back in the day.
I would also say that his run with the Brewers isn't enough with some of these young guys in the Brewers lineup to actually get a feeling for what he was last season. I think this is a game where Ray gets the best of them. He's coming in. I think it's more important for him probably personally to beat the Brewers than it is for the Brewers to beat Colin Ray.
Listen to me. I'm not going to speak for the Brewers team and these guys. I don't know. But if it were me, dude, I want to beat that traitor. I'm all about making sure we pound that dude in the dirt. Because you've got 5 more games left against these dudes. There's literally a 5-game series, and then they're done. They don't play the Cubs in September. So you have a 5-game set in August, and then you're done playing them. And then it's out of your control as far as if you're down 2 games or whatever in September, you don't get to knock them off in a 3-game set to take the lead back. You have to take advantage of these situations. So from a Brewers perspective, I think this is a big deal. Because even though they are sitting tied, I still think there are many people that look at the Cubs and go, they're more talented. They'll eventually win this division. And from a Brewers perspective, with your manager saying you're just a bunch of average dudes, nothing special, with him saying that doesn't inspire a lot of confidence either. So from that perspective, if I'm the Brewers, this is a big damn series to me. I don't know how the Cubs view it, but if I were the Brewers, I'd be like, we're at home. We better at least get 2 of these games.
I would say it's the opposite. I would say the Cubs probably look at this series and say they need to win it and need to play well in this series more so than the Brewers do. The Brewers have gone out and swept the Dodgers twice in the course of a month. Like, that was insane. And I know you want to continue to beat up on the top teams in the National League, teams like the Chicago Cubs, who are one of your rivals. At the same time, though, is that game really as important as some of these other series in the later half of the season here in August, later on? I know you want to beat the Cubs, but this Brewers team has an extremely hard schedule the rest of the year. We talked about it. It's going to be tough.
That Cubs 5-game set comes August 18th through the 21st. It's a day-night doubleheader on Monday the 18th, and then Tuesday night game, Wednesday night game, all of these at Wrigley. And then Thursday the 21st is an afternoon game. That is going to be interesting because in the middle of August, it could be very hot. I mean, like today hot in the middle of August down in Chicago. Game 3 starters, Peralta versus Imanaga. That's a coin flip too. I think you could argue all 3 of these to a certain degree are coin flip games. There's no dominant pitcher going against a suspect pitcher in this series. Your 2 guys that are at the back end of the rotation, Priester and Ray, are against each other. And then the other 2 matchups are both top-end pitchers for both these teams.
I think that one's going to be a lot of fun. I'm really excited for that one. We already saw that matchup once this season, and it was a lot of fun in that matchup as well.
Didn't they get Imanaga pretty good?
They did, yeah. And he got hurt in that game, too. That was the other issue, so he came out of it pretty early after getting jumped on by the Brewers. So that was all issue. I want to see a healthy Imanaga versus a healthy Freddie Peralta, man. I'm hoping that game goes deep with both those guys.
The one thing that didn't get brought up by David Haw, and I haven't seen anybody really bring up, mind you, I don't read a lot of Chicago stuff, but Javier Assad is going to be back here for the Cubs in short order. I mean, then the next week or 2, I would think Javier Assad is going to be back. That is going to be a gigantic addition to that rotation. And then if they add another pitcher, a Keller from Pittsburgh, or if they get one of the D-backs pitchers, or whoever they decide to add outside of that, then you add 2 legitimate pitchers into that rotation to go with Imanaga, who you already have at this point. I think Boyd, I think you start feeling really good about yourself. You just can't have Boyd blow up and realize who he is.
You definitely feel a little bit more confident. I think you kind of have that same feeling with Assad, too. What we saw from his smaller sample size with this Cubs team was that he can be really good and that he's going to be really good.
Yes.
The problem is it's still a very small sample size, and you're seeing that with Matt Boyd, too. I think even if you go out and trade for a guy like Mitch Keller, you're going to see that same kind of thing. There's a lot of questions still with this Cubs rotation that does not match the same kind of questions that are with the Brewers, where they don't really have too many.
I'm going to do the same thing as I did in that Dodger series. Before the All-Star break, don't get swept. That's all. That's where I'm at. Just don't get swept. If we come out of this series on Thursday and the Cubs are up by 1 game in the division, totally good with it. Cannot come out of this series on Thursday down 3 games in the division. Cannot happen. And I would assume if I'm a Cubs fan that I'm saying the exact same thing. Do not get swept in this series. Do not be down 3 games going into Thursday because, again, long season to go. The Brewers roll against the Nationals after that series. You got the Pirates coming up. You got the Braves coming up. We don't know what the Braves are going to be, but they just traded for Fetty, who is awful. Or Fetty. Either way, I think the Brewers and the Cubs both are the same thing. Don't care if we win 2 or we win 1, but just don't lose all 3.
I would say that for the Cubs, it is you want to win the series. For the Brewers, I would say my main objective is honestly just to stay healthy throughout this. Go into this series, play 3 games, win as many as you can, but also at the same time, if you walk out of this with everybody still intact, that's what you want. I think that's the goal for this Brewers team the rest of the season. Yes, you want to win the NL Central, but again, it's to stay healthy, no matter who you're playing.
You win this first game, and you feel really good about things.
I think you could lose the next 2 and still feel pretty good, man.
Good. Yeah, you're down 1 in a Thursday. I'm still okay with that.
Don't run Freddie Peralta too long. Don't run Miz too long. Don't run any of these plays.
No,
maybe give Christian Yelich an off day in this series. Stuff like that, man.
No. You ran Miz short the last series. I expect Miz to go 75, 80 pitches tonight. And if all goes well, that should get him through 5. Maybe through 6 if all goes well. And this is not an easy offense for Mizorowski. So I do not want to hear if the Cubs light him up for 4 or 5 runs. Geez, not as good as we all thought. Shut up. I don't even want to hear it. They're a good offense. They're a really good offense. So if for whatever reason they jump on him and it doesn't go well, let's not overreact to what happens in this game. Coming up next, things that we missed on today's show. We had a poll question earlier in the show. We'll get results on that. Got to talk about Bryce Harper and the commissioner of baseball having some issues with one another. And how embarrassed do you have to be if you're Luka Doncic at this point? We'll talk about that straight ahead. It's Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Sparky here.
Vaughn, center field, on the run, Myers at the track, it's off the base of the wall. It bounces up, hits the bottom of the rail back there. It's an automatic double.
I'll say this. I'm just waiting for the other shoe to drop on this dude. I'm just waiting for this dude to go cold. And in that Mariners series, I thought, okay, well, now we're back to being what we wanted to be. Not what we wanted to be, but what we thought it was going to be. But then you come home and he goes right back to being Andrew Vaughn of the Brewers against Charlie. Like, he's just not stopping. He just continues to be the guy that he's been since they acquired him. He had one bad series against the Mariners where he didn't do anything for 2 games. They rested him on Sunday, and now he's right back at it again.
He's a lot of fun to watch, man. I have a lot of fun watching Andrew Vaughn. Every time he steps up to the plate, I expect something to happen. Even if nothing happens, I still have this hope that he's going to be able to do something every time he steps out there.
Yeah, no question. Highlight courtesy of FanDuel Sports Network, and appreciate them for that great highlight call there by BA. Speaking of Brewers and Cubs going on, obviously today, tomorrow, we have the leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook with our guy Tommy Wirtz will be joining us here in the studio. He comes on 5 to 6:30 both nights. And then Wednesday's a day game, and the Brewers take on Chicago at American Family Field. Potawatomi will help get you there on Wednesday. Potawatomi Sportsbook opens at 10 a.m. on game day. And with any same-day sports bet or sportsbook dining purchase, you'll get a wristband and a shuttle to the stadium. Visit Potawatomi.com for more information online. Bet above the rest with the Potawatomi Sportsbook. That's a no-brainer. Instead of paying even higher parking prices than you normally would because they're playing the Cubs, you can park for free at the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Go grab some brunch maybe right away at 10 o'clock and then take the shuttle over to the afternoon game. Makes all the sense in the world. Again, Potawatomi.com for more info on that one. Joining us now, he is the aforementioned Tommy Wirtz. Tommy, thanks for coming on. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today, Sparky?
Good. I feel like it's only right and things that Sparky missed today to talk about the border brouhaha down in Beloit that we were at. We were inside of an oven while that game was being played yesterday.
Yeah.
Real feel of 105. And I got to say, man, like if you want to start talking about platinum gloves, Tommy Wirtz should be carrying that platinum glove around with you. Like you should just wear a shirt, like platinum glove award winner. When people ask what, just Mason, tell him. Mason, be my guy. Tell him how great I was. I mean, you were something else defensively out there, Tommy Wirtz. I mean, first off, right early in the game, Tommy Wirtz is out there in left field, right? And you're thinking to yourself, man, why they got such a slow dog out there in left field for? Shouldn't he be catching? Maybe he should be at first base. I mean, worst case scenario, put him in right field, but you don't want him in left field, be running all over and the ball hit over his head, right? Just, what are we doing?
He's standing in solidarity with his guy Jake Bauer since they stopped letting him play left field.
Facts.
Probably soon be off the team. But anyways, Jordy Nelson's coaching the team, whatever. So, okay, fine. Football player don't know what he's doing. So I'll go Tommy Wirtz to left field. Ball gets hit to left, more left than left center, but to left either way. Center fielder's like, oh, dude's not going to get there.
Center fielder is Tim Mastey, by the way.
Tim Mastey, the puncher, who is like everything in Kentucky, according to Mason Crosby. So Mastey's on his horse, running over to come help Tommy catch this fly ball. Tommy had it the whole way. Like, was no doubt. Nobody knew this, though. So Tommy's going to catch the ball. He collides with a former NFL punter. They both go down. Tommy Wirtz, like there should have been music playing, raises the glove. The crowd goes crazy. Like everybody's like, what? He caught the ball.
Yeah, I had a fan yell, that's roughing the punter to me.
Yes.
And I replied back with, I got all ball the entire time.
All ball, right.
Yeah. And then in the same inning, Sparky, Same inning,
another ball gets hit. More of a line drive shot. Here comes Tommy Wirtz sliding it after the ball, and I'm like, there's no way he's got this ball. Literally on the microphone, I'm emceeing this. I'm like, there's no way he caught that. He rolls over, holds up the glove again. Everybody goes nuts. At which point, Brian Lammy, who's a vet, Lammy Sports runs this whole thing, turns to me and he goes, where did you find these guys? I was like, hey, man, I didn't know how good these dudes were. Thunder's out there making a great play as well during the game. Like, oh, my goodness. These guys were amazing defensively.
First of all, Sparky, you were the only one that didn't completely doubt my athletic ability before this event. If you remember,
no, you played football. I mean, I knew you could play.
Right. Sparky was like, "Oh yeah, he was an athlete.
Yeah.
You did." But obviously, Mason, Mitch, and more or less Andy, I guess, on the show too, all doubting me.
Can I just say something real quick about this?
Mm-hmm.
I hope other former NFL players are better softball players than what I just watched.
Oh,
because these dudes didn't know what the hell they were doing. Now, I will give Jordy Nelson credit, but he plays softball regularly, it sounds like, down in Kansas. Like, they travel around to small towns, and he beats the crap out of other teams, him and a bunch of boys, to go around and just, kill guys, right? So, and he's played in these celebrity softball tournaments every year. So, you knew this dude. I mean, first ball he hits, you're like, oh, man, that's a different sound. That's got a different, directory. Like, this thing is over in the home run derby. So, all right, he's legit. But Brad Jones, no prayer.
Brad Jones,
He hit a couple of balls, though. I mean, he had a big base hit when Crosby was busy doing something.
Brad Jones was who I robbed of the first hit of the game. That was who me and Tim Mastek collided
So
for.
he made contact a couple of times. So that was, okay, fine. All right. Mastek is apparently all everything. Didn't look it. And then we had, who was the running back from Illinois?
Oh, Khalil
Carrington or something like that? Whatever.
Yeah.
The running back from Illinois, I don't know if he'd ever picked up a bat before.
No,
I don't know.
definitely not.
I don't know if he ever picked up a bat before.
First of all, Charlie,
I was rooting for him,
He
though.
showed up in long sleeves, Charlie.
First mistake,
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, no, he was batting leadoff. We didn't get any choice on this lineup, which you saw by me in left field. But yeah, he was batting leadoff today, and he was in the home run derby, and he was swinging and missing at everything that came his way.
I think it's Khalil Valentine, I think it was his name. Right?
Yeah, but I feel like that's what I was going to say, too. He's the running back over at the University of Illinois, Charlie. So I think that's what his name was.
He's definitely a running back, not a softball player.
Yeah, give him the ball and run.
But
give him the ball
I was rooting for him, because after you saw the first swing, you're like, uh-oh, he doesn't know how to do this.
Yeah.
That he does not know how to do this. Now, there was a dude on Team Wisconsin. I still don't know why the dude was in it. So I got this list, right, of celebrities on both teams. But it didn't tell me who they were. So beforehand, I was like, okay.
Khalil Valentine, yep.
Yeah, Khalil Valentine.
Nice.
And so before the game, I was like, okay, I know the Packer players. I know Bonnie Blair.
She's
by far the most entertaining of all of them, Charlie.
Yeah. All right.
She gets in there and she's jawing with the umpire. Look at the strike zone. It's not this big. She's yelling. She throws her hat at the umpire at one point. Oh, my goodness. Dude, she was amazing. I would bring her around the country for every one of these things. She would be amazing. Anyways, so she was really good. So Valentine, I'm rooting for him to do something. But this other dude, I didn't know who he was, because it didn't. A lot of these other guys, I was just saying their name.
Was it Rob or John? Which one are you talking about? Are you talking about Rob? Yeah. Okay.
Right. So John Barry was another guy that was there, and apparently he's a radio guy out in the Janesville, Beloit area. Okay, fine. So then this other guy, the guy that can hit, he was not in the home run derby because they just had former Packer players and then some other dude.
And Khalil.
And then some other dude who hit 6 home runs, right? And then Jordy beat him with 7. Nobody else got really close. This other dude that wasn't in the home run derby hit a grand slam his first at bat, hit a 3-run homer a second. I'm like, why wasn't he in the home run derby? Nobody must have known how good that cat was. But he was the reason Wisconsin beat Illinois.
Well, yes, correct. I mean, once Mason started having his children run the bases, then also, all rules were out of the table. I get it for charity, but they did Mickey Mouse that grand slam. Game should have been tied in that last inning. That's fine. But it was awesome. I mean, it was an awesome event. All of that was
so bitter.
I know. He sounds jealous.
Did you see what I was?
You're going to get to do
like he didn't hit a home run.
They said they're doing it again next year, so you'll get your revenge.
Oh, yeah. I mean, did you see how hard I was going in inning number 1, Sparky? Do you think I wasn't trying during this game?
You were definitely trying, yeah.
Yeah, so, once they just started letting anyone run the bases.
Thunder, what was the deal with Thunder? Because, he was 0 for 3 at the plate.
Yeah, he was 0 for 3. I think we had a goal of just no grounders, so it was get everything in the air. As long as everything was in the air, then you had to go for the homer every time. So I was just taking straight uppercut hacks the entire game.
You were.
Trying to make sure that I had a chance. But after my first inning on defense, I kind of felt like I did all I needed to and didn't need to do anything swinging the bat. So
that is true, yeah. He was definitely one of the stars of the game for sure. And then the game was all over. Team Wisconsin wins. And this fool over here, Tommy Wirtz, comes running onto the field from Team Illinois. Mind you, they lost. and he pours a bottle of water over Crosby's head in a celebration on the field.
Hey, he said it felt good.
He did say it felt good.
Also, what are we doing, Team Wisconsin? Why was there no water coming from Team Wisconsin? That needed to happen. Everyone knew it would be fun.
Nobody
play around.
thought they were going to lose to Team Illinois.
Well, okay.
That was very clear early on.
I knew that
wasn't
was going
a big
to happen.
celebration point.
Right. Well, still, it would have been a great time to dump water on anyone's head because it was
So
super
hot,
hot.
yes.
It was so hot. And why not do it to Mason Crosby? No one else thought that was going to be a good idea. I can't be the guy who only has ideas, Sparky. Someone else needs to have an idea.
That is true. If y'all didn't make it out, you definitely need to come back next year at the Boyd Skycarp Stadium. I know it's a little bit of a drive. I get it. But, dude, it was a ton of fun.
Easy drive,
it was so much fun.
Easy drive.
Yeah.
It's an hour. It's an hour from the station here, and it's a strong hour from Milwaukee, anywhere in Milwaukee.
Correct.
So
yes.
It was a great time.
So, again, Home Run Derby was a lot of fun. A kid had a chance to win $1,000 on a field goal kick of 33
did not
yards.
Have a chance. I mean, they had a chance, but
He had a chance. It's not my fault he couldn't clear the big green wall of the center field.
Charlie, they're like, hey, kick this field goal from 33 yards away over the green monster.
There's literally a green monster in center
field.
He hit it over the fence of the park.
Yeah,
it would have been a home run.
Homer. Yeah.
Right, but that was about as high as he
Yeah,
got.
you got to give him like $100 then or something.
No, he got nothing.
Nothing.
But so he tried. But so we did that. They had charity. But the biggest part, the most important part is they donated $15,000 to Make-A-Wish Foundation at the end of this event, which was awesome. And it was only year number 1. So I'm looking forward to year number 2 next year. Mason Crosby in studio tomorrow, correct?
He is, yep.
So Mason Crosby in studio tomorrow. I'm sure he'll have stories to tell about what all was going on inside of that game yesterday. I had 2:40. We did a poll question. Charlie, tell everybody the poll question.
This might be our most even poll. The Brewers are reportedly willing to send top prospects Logan Henderson, Brett Witrowski, and Josh Adamszewski to Arizona for third base. And Eugenio Suarez. What do you think of this trade? The leading answer is hell yes, with a 35.5% responses out of 214 votes, by the way. The second leading vote getter was highway robbery by Arizona with 33% of the votes, and 30% of the votes was would hurt, but worth it.
All right. What say you, Mr. Tommy Wirtz? Do you do that deal?
Yeah, I am in the least voted for portion of that poll. I did put that hurts, but would do it. And you know me, I've been kind of in the, not anti-Suarez club, but more or less just saying that I would hold on just like anything you can to get Suarez. But I would definitely not be surprised if Logan Henderson has a very successful MLB career based on what we have. But the other two prospects, I see them giving up in exchange for it. I think you do the deal. I think that's the deal you do. But again, right in the middle of that hurts. I'm not going to be in the hell yes category by any means. I would love to see Logan Henderson, who I think is going to be in the rotation next year for Milwaukee. But yeah, I think you do that deal.
All right, there he is. Tommy Wirtz. Stay tuned. The leadoff show powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook comes up next. Brewers, Cubs, the Miz on the mound for the crew. We'll get you ready for first pitch next here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM. The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Have a good night. Toodles.